time for an update, I suppose, huh? Um, where are things at? Well, I got just a couple things going on. One of which is causing me a little bit of consternation still. So let's run you through them. First and foremost, let's get you off here and let's talk about this weirdness. We are rapidly approaching the point where this channel has 500 subscribers on it, which is, if I'm honest, not a place that I thought I would ever end up. Just this is like my hobby thing. It's just a thing that I do. I make silly videos about bikes and making things and whatever, and it's been weird. Anyway, but thank you if you're following along. Let me know what you want to see more of. I'm never quite sure what direction I am taking this thing in, and whether it's art project or instructional or commentary or what have you. Maybe a little bit of all of those, as it turns out. Couple things. I bought a thing for a bike that I have never, in the 38 years that I have been riding bikes, that I have never, ever, ever purchased before. I'm going to show you what it is. And a lot of you are going to be surprised, although maybe for a couple different reasons. Ready? Here we go. That there is a bicycle computer. I have never, ever bought, I've never bought a bicycle computer. I've had bike computers on a couple of bikes that were put there by previous owners under other circumstances, but I have never purchased one myself. This is a Garmin, Edge 130. It's about as simple and straightforward as I could manage to get. I had this mount before because I've been running, let's get these out of here, because I've been running, I used to run a cell phone occasionally on the front of this thing for GPS navigation, and there's a problem there, right? I needed better navigation. I needed, I didn't want to have an expensive phone strapped to the front, the battery life, blah, 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 blah. All the reasons that people do this. I'll be clear, I don't care about speeds or distances or power outputs or elevation or any of that stuff particularly. I try really hard to not care about that stuff. This is mostly here for navigation. And the reason is, and some of you might relate to this, is I'm a dad. And when I say that that I'm going to be gone for an hour or 2 hours or whatever on a bike ride, I need to be gone for an hour or 2 hours on a bike ride. And when I get back on time, I need to be in one piece. I can't show up an empty-shelled husk of someone who is bunked in the middle of getting lost in the woods for 4 hours when they said they were going to be gone for an hour and a half. That doesn't work. That's not how this works for me. So so I like to explore and try new trails and try new routes and all of the rest, but I need to do my primary first level, that is exploring on the computer, and then I need to get a route someplace. And I was tired of stopping every 75 yards in the woods to check a phone to make sure I haven't missed a side trail or I haven't got myself turned around or whatever. It was taking too much time. It was getting in the way. It was keeping me out of the flow that I like to get into. So this new computer is an effort to help me manage my time and my expectations and my explorations in a more responsible manner, so that I am not feeling as though I am endangering my. That's not the right word. Endangering is not the right word. I want to keep my priorities in check. Riding bikes is great. I love riding bikes. I have always loved riding bikes, but taking care of the family is better. So I just want to make sure I have the pecking order nailed. So anyway, I got this guy. I got a really good deal on it. I got about the simplest one I could because I don't want a lot of that stuff. And my current debate that I'm having internally is in regards to allowing notifications on it. I need to be available to my better three quarters in case something happens with her or the kids or whatever. I need to be reachable. Excuse me. But I also don't want randos being able to call me or text me. And if they do, I don't want to know about it. You know what I mean? Until after. So I need to figure out settings there. So yeah, for me, it's about navigation. I'm also, I know back when I used to track mileage that I can get a little that I can get a little obsessive about numbers, right? It's not my favorite trait about myself, but I can. And so I am trying to not provide myself with too many numbers about, because I am not racing anymore. I am not going back to racing. I have no interest in any of that. So I'm trying to not give myself ways to get obsessed about like power output or time on bike, or I don't know, whatever, any of the other parameters that people really enjoy tracking. It's why you won't see me with a Strava account. Like it's not going to happen. You can find me on Ride with GPS though, if you want, and see what I'm noodling around. I don't track a lot of my rides. Well, I haven't tracked a lot of my rides because it would have taken a cell phone to do it. Now maybe I will. I don't know. Anyway, so I got that guy on there. Also, there's a group that I've been considering riding with. They're quasi-local, and they do some interesting rides, mixed terrain, full moon, like all sorts of like oddball fun stuff. And they seem pretty mellow, but they're a little they're a little neurotic when it comes to the standardization of their rides. That is to say, if you want to ride with them, the list of things you must have to be approved to ride with them is substantial and meaningful. They specify tire widths, and they specify you have to have a GPS computer with the route loaded onto it. You need to have a backup battery source for that. You have to, I think for a lot of their rides, you have to carry front and rear charged lights. I guess in case you get caught out for a really long time. Anyway, I've been toying with the idea of maybe going for rides with them occasionally, as things loosen and vaccinations roll and all the rest. And anyway, this is a piece of that puzzle. Again, I'm not sure I'll ride with them, but anyway, primarily it's about keeping myself in check and making sure that I'm meeting the expectations that I'm setting for myself and for the family. Right? If I'm gone for an hour, I'm back in an hour. You know, plus or minus, but within like a relatively small percentage there. Anyway, so that's new. Last time we talked about bikes, I had put on record shifters. I have ridden the bike since then. It's much more to my liking. Shimano stuff is fine. And I'm sure SRAM is, although I've never ridden SRAM road shifters. They're both fine. People use them. Obviously, people use them successfully. My personal preference is for Campy. Part of that is that the brake lever, if you don't know, the brake lever in Campy levers doesn't pivot in. It only pivots to brake. So this is on the rear, this is your downshift, and the upshift is a thumb tab on the inside. And it's a configuration I've used for a very long time, and one that I prefer over most others. There's also a neat trick where when you're in the drops, if you're sprinting, you can park your thumb on top of the shifter here, and crack off upshifts as you're sprinting, which is problematic, but kind of nice anyway. So that's been done. I've also, to that end, I mentioned that group talking about lights. I've decided I'm just hard mounting a USB flasher to the back of this bike now. It's off the rack mount there. It's removable, but I got the thing bolted on. I was just sort of tired of remembering to like strap it to the seat post and take it off and all that. So it's on there, and it's just clean and it's nice, and I think it looks here. Let me whip around the other side of this thing so you can see from the back of this. I think that looks. Oh, that's not focused at all, is it? I think that looks tidy like that. I think that looks fairly clean and tidy. I am okay with that. So that's my only upgrade to that bike. The next thing with bikes that you're probably likely to see me do, the thing that is, shouldn't do that. The thing that I need to do next, it's on my list to do next, is to take one of my road bikes, which is I'm going to call it my primary road bike, that I've had for a long time. And my riding position on that bike has never been altered. I was fit to it when it was built, and I haven't touched it since. And needless to say, I was much younger when that bike was built and I was fitted. And my lower back is not as flexible as it once was. So I'm going to be going to a shorter stem with more rise. but still in the exact same style as the original. And I'm going to go to a wider handlebar. I've got 42s on it now, which are fine, but I'm stepping out to like a 46 on it. In case you are unaware, I ride big bikes. My road bike is 59 and a half, and I've got an ape index. My arms are longer than my height. So anyway, so a wider handlebar kind of fits nicely with some of that stuff. Plus, I'm not racing anymore, so I can relax on the thing and have a little bit more fun. And yeah, that's the next ride bike. I don't even know if you guys want to see that. It's going to be handlebar and stem swap on a vintage road bike, and I don't know if people care. Maybe you should. There's some neat stuff there, but anyway, let me know. And I am sure at some point soon I will break something on a bike that needs to be fixed as well, because that's sort of my nature. And maybe, I've been meaning to do a bike check on the Tandem for a long time now, and I haven't ever done one. So maybe it's time to roll the Tandem out and do a bike check on that, which I think you'll find hilarious and interesting and maybe horrifying. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.